All right, emergency team meeting. Nathan Cleary, our captain, is out. It looks like it'll be anywhere between 2 and 4 weeks. And given they have a bye in round 6, there is no chance they'll be rushing him back in round 5. So that's at least 3 weeks out. So potentially either comes back in round 7 or round 8. We need a team meeting. Guys, let's zoom on in. You guys got to sort your shit out, basically, because we need 17 of you on the park this week, and we may have to play short and have a real tough week out at the in the outside office. Let's just say that we've got multiple of you guys out, and there's potential for a few of you guys to not make it into the side due to injury as well from the week. Can you all sort yourself out and get on the park, please? We cannot deal with any of this. Okay. Now let's breathe and let's sort through the issues. So you've got a side in front of you, right? There's a good chance you have a Pap and a Chan. There's a chance you have someone else like a Jacob Gagai or potentially Nick Kotrick that doesn't make the team this week. You could have Harry Grant, Cleary, Tuapiki. Keeney maybe doesn't make the team. It sounds like Terrell's going to be okay, which is great. Cotter looks like he may be out for a week. Could be fine as well. Let's hope he is fine. Turbo got hooked with 20 minutes to go. Burbo, I should say, got hooked with 20 minutes to go. Is he going to be there? There's a lot of question marks for our side. I'm sitting there with Wong in this team as well. Vlandis, NRL Fantasy, can we please have a couple more trades this week? We'll give them back to you later. I swear. Can we just borrow some? That would be helpful. So where you got to start, guys? Cleary's out. We do need to wait until team list this week, and hopefully we get a clearer picture of where guys are at. But if you're looking at this side here in the head-to-head team, you've got Cotter, who's let's go the definite outs. Cleary, definite out. Pappenhausen, Chan, definite. So there's 3. Then we have the good chance that they are out in Wong. That's 4. I'm down to 17 players. Keeney would put me down, and Tuapiki's definite, I should say. So down to 17. Wong, most likely, puts me down to 16. Keeney, fairly likely, down to 15. And then we've got Cotter, who's a maybe as well, down to 14. So if that was the case and all of those guys are out, no matter what, at a maximum, I'm playing 16 in this head-to-head team this week. So if you are potentially in the same boat, and this is where you're at, and it's likely that you have anywhere between 16 and 17 with max trades getting on the park this week, what you do need to focus on is not trading anyone that is playing this week. So that means guys like Satili Tupanua, guys like Hughes, Salmon, Levi, Strange, Burbo, all these guys that haven't been scoring well, they need to stay in your team this week, and you can deal with those issues following from that. With the Cleary news, it does mean he is a sell, so you do need to look for a potential captaincy option now, because he was our best captain. If you don't have a Hines, if you have Hines, then he's likely to be a really good captaincy option this week. If you have Tommy Turbo, I think he's a decent captaincy option this week against the Dragons. You've got Fogarty, who's going to be really solid. You've got the Isaiah Yos. You've got the Carrigans. I do suggest trading in one of those top tier guys this week, in whatever position you decide that's going to be, and you captain them. One of those high 750k plus guys, unless it's Tommy at 670. Fogarty at 707, I think should do a solid job as well. I do suggest captaining one of these players in your side. What you want to do with this Cleary one, I would suggest potentially trying to drop down into a low 700k player. If you have a decent amount of cash left over already, that would probably leave you about 400 or 450 in the bank. And what you could do then is go from a 300k guy to a 750 guy. You can go from a 350, a 450k guy into a Peaky, up to an 850 guy. If you could try and get all the way to a Yo, that could be really helpful. If you wanted to get to Hines, I understand, but I'd probably would wait until after his bye next week. In round 5. So there's a few options on that. And really in this one, how you do it, if Tuapiki, we think that he's done and Chance is going to be back after this week in round 4, you could wait one more week on Tuapiki and hope that he can play one more and Chance is not back yet. If Keeney's out, then I would suggest trying to get rid of some of your deadwood, some of the cheap guys that you're not looking to play longer term. So it could be Cleary and a Keanu Keeney this week if he is out. So that's a suggestion where you could go down a little bit with Cleary. You can go up a bit with Keeney. If you missed out on Galvin, I think the Cleary straight to Galvin trade is exactly what I'll be doing in this head-to-head side, which is hilarious. But what that allows is to get anyone I want for Keeney if he was to be out. It could mean to get anyone I want for Tuapiki if that's the play as well. If it's Cotter and it's a 1 week injury to his ankle, they're just going to rest him this week, then he's a clear hold. If anyone else in your side, it looks like it's going to be a 1 week thing, like a Pap, a Chan, you do expect them to be back next week. That also should be a 1 week hold for you. Do what you can to get great points this week, but just don't forget that if you have 1 week with 16 players, a lot of other coaches are going to be in that same situation as well. There will be coaches that have, as I said, one of a Jacob Gagai, a Viliami Fafita, who's not scoring well, a Kotrick that may not make this side. They could have, they got a bit lucky with Xavier Willison, but there's other, he's playing at the moment, but there's other cheapies that aren't currently, that a few teams will have. There'll be teams like myself who we just saw Cam Murray limping off with a bit of a knee injury at training. He's expected to play, thank goodness, but if he happens to miss a week as well, I've got him, I've got Grant, Pap, and Chan in my team with Keanu Keeney. So I don't have the Tuapiki issue, but I have an extra one in Grant not being there. And those kind of guys, it's then very much worth it to hold on to them because they don't have a bye then until round 13 when they're going to miss for Origin and the like. So that's where it becomes a little bit important just to hold those guys for a week. If anything 1 week you hold on to, anything outside of that, I do understand the trade. If you don't think they're going to get back into the team like a Keeney or a Tuapiki, then I understand that as well. It could be a really good opportunity as well if you do have a Jacob Gagai on your side or a Nick Kotrick that aren't playing this week, if that's the way that Raiders go. It was before Chris had his head knock, that you do remove Gagai with Cleary and go an up-down combo with that one. So you can remove some of that dead weight in your side and improve your 21 as a whole. 1 week doesn't make a season. There's 27 rounds, guys. And you may have had a really good week this week. You may still have a really good week as well with, if you could sneak 17 on the park, that are actually going to be decent scorers. That's where the biggest part of it is, guys. It's not about just that clear number of getting 17. It's just making sure that most of them are actually going to be decent scorers. And it's not like, I've got 17 this week, but you've got Viliami Fafita and, a mixture of, the Strangers and Kotricks and these types of guys in your side that aren't going to score too crash hot. Like whether if Keeney still sticks in, then I've got him as an option. But, at the moment he's an 18, 20 scorer. So if it's 16, so be it this week. Hopefully you can get some good players out of the trades that you make. As I said, whether you can go an up-down combo with Gagai and Cleary to two really good scoring options. So you've removed that. Yes, you have 16 players, but you've removed that 17th player, which would be sort of a 15 or 20 pointer. You've removed him, but you've made your 16th scorer a 40-point scorer. So it's basically the same as having 17 on the park. Think more than this 1 week. Think ahead. As I said in the fantasy tip of the week, think ahead for what's to come. A couple of weeks in advance, different trades you're looking at. That's going to be the best way to get through this completely fine. And I do hope that team lists are kind enough to us, to you, to everyone out there. Don't throw in the towel. It's fine. Everyone's in the same boat. Most people have Cleary. There is 55% of teams that own Cleary. There's a lot of teams there that own Pap as well at 45%. We've got 25% that own Chan. We've got Jacob Gagai's are very heavily owned across the land. You got 5% of Tuapiki owners. Keeney's owned by 22%. So if things pan out how we think they're going to, Wong's still owned by 18%, then a lot of people will be in the same issue. And overall, we're all going to be sweet. So I hope this helped you guys. Just want to jump on a quick one and help you out with this situation. For anyone that's kind of losing their mind a bit, just relax, take a deep breath. Cleary likely is a sell now. I'll be selling him. And I guess in that scenario, it makes your decisions a little bit easier to make because you have a guy that's a clear sell and you're not going, do I go for Tupanua this week? Do I trade out a Hughes that people are looking at? People are like, do I go Brendan Smith up to Avi Coruscant? There's all these things that you can be thinking of, and a lot of them probably aren't going to be the best options now. Where it's getting rid of Cleary for, you've got Hines you can straight swap to, you've got Isaiah Yeo you can go to, and then a multitude of options down below here, with Carrigan being really solid. If you do need a wing fullback, you've got the Teddies, you got Pongers, these types of guys that you can do. Plenty of halves that you can look at in Fogs, in Moses, in Galvin, in Finafuaki as a cheapie. There's lots of things you can do this week, and we'll get into that following the team list. But I wanted to get into this one now really quickly and help you guys out with it. I hope this helps, and we'll see you in the next video.